Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Madden 2005, the New York Giants rebuild, or general manager, whatever you want to call it. We won the Super Bowl in last episode, beating those Kansas City Chiefs 21-16, as you guys can see here. And we broke a channel record. This is the first time ever, honestly, in my life, not just the channel, but that I've ever taken a team and rebuilt them or managed the roster, simmed it, and won a Super Bowl in year number one. And we made a lot of big moves before. We came in here and we said, look, we mean business, and we proved it. I will say this, though. Thank God we had a fast start in that first half, because you guys can kind of see we didn't do anything after halftime, after that halftime show. I don't know what happened, but we had a 21-3 lead going into halftime, and then we almost let Kansas City come back with a final score of 21-16. Now today we're going to go ahead and get the full offseason done. Talk about some of the key features that they used to have back in the day that we haven't seen in a long time, like this right here. Look at that, Champion G-Man. It's in the newspaper. You got a bunch of articles, a picture from the Super Bowl. Wish we had stuff like this in Madden today. Also, a Giants balance sheet for the end of the year that breaks down everything of the income and expenses over the year or whatever. Also, update storylines. I wish we need these. Ray Lewis on his contract deal, and there's no talks between him and the Ravens. It's looking like he may be a free agent. I don't know. Where did EA go? Like, bring this stuff back. This is the best Madden in history, in my opinion. Now, I was looking at our coordinators and our coaches. Oh, by the way, we have offensive and defensive coordinators. They've been in the game. We just finally got them back, and they're still not as good as they were back in the day. But even though we could get an upgrade for our defense and offense, we just won a Super Bowl, so I'm keeping the same staff. Also, you can see, look, upgrading our stadium now for the first time since we just come off a Super Bowl. Let's go ahead and dump some money into the stadium. That's exactly what we do there. So now we went from a good stadium to a very good stadium grade. This is deeper than Madden 23. I'm going to go ahead and say it now. It's deeper than all the modern Maddens. This stuff is in the modern Maddens, but it's not this deep. We can also see the owner ratings. We are an expert. I think that's probably the highest you can get. There's a couple other owners that are just as good as us, but none of them have that Super Bowl ring, that Super Bowl trophy in the back like we do, just from a year ago. So we can also see the expenses and income and profit and all that good stuff, and attendance for all the other teams around the league as well. Now, moving over to the retirements, Jerry Rice, the Raiders have a lot of retirements for them. The Rams, we're not going to look through all of these. Just want to show you guys, for the most part, some of the players, some of the big names that did retire. Now, then we moved over to restricted free agents, which is, again, something really cool to have. Now, Greason was not supposed to be the starter, but because the guy that we picked up last year took an injury for the whole season, this guy got to play for the first time ever, and he jumped all the way to an 87 overall. He was not that a year ago, so we want to bring this guy back. We can only offer him a one-year deal until we can talk about free agency later and also, upgrading his contract, but we want to keep Greason around for the long haul. The other two, we're just going to let them go. So then that would take us over to re-signing. And now what's cool about the older Maddens is we can reconstruct any contract we want to. We don't have to do just the guys who are on their final year, like they need a new contract. If we wanted to renegotiate with Kurt Warner, we could. You know what I mean? I wish we could do that. The more I play this game, I shouldn't have played this game, to be honest with you guys. I shouldn't have played this game right before Madden 23 is about to come out, because it's sad, but it's probably going to make Madden 23 a little lackluster to me now. I shouldn't have done this to myself, but this is the first Madden I ever got into franchise mode. It's the deepest Madden to me. But so we're making our signings and stuff. For the most part, we're going to bring back a couple of those guys. We're keeping the same. I do want to bring back, as you can see, Ron Dane here. I think he's a solid second running back. We're going to keep Tiki Barber because he dominated in the playoffs. I just hope he can stay healthy, because we didn't really have him in the regular season last year. So I want to get Dane. I want to make sure we have Dane. Also, William Peterson had that amazing interception in the end zone. We want to sign this dude to a big contract. Keep this guy around. He's our best corner, and he's only 26 years old. So we are going to be keeping William Peterson around as well. Get that inked up and done. He had 4 interceptions last year in the regular season, and hopefully he can do a little more besides that. We're going to bring back Matt Bryant. I think he did pretty good for us. I mean, he got the job done. Am I right? So we'll sign him to a we'll bump it down to a 2-year deal. You know, I don't like it's not that big of a deal really. We're not spending out too much. We're actually going to let McKnight go though, the wide receiver, and the rest of these players, honestly. We will, of course, bring back that free safety. That's an 87 overall. So moving on, rookie reports. One guy I had my eyes on was John Jones, but this is how the scouting worked back in the day. You didn't scout throughout the year. You scouted at the end of the season. You picked 15 players, and there's 3 rounds, so you can pick 15 players each round to scout. After 3 rounds of that, you go into the draft, and honestly, it kind of reveals like their projected round, and it shows their combine and all that stuff, as you guys can kind of see right here. But we're going to go ahead and start the NFL draft. I'm kind of just looking for either a wide receiver, because we did lose McKnight, or a running back. Honestly, kind of looking at a running back. Cardinals had the first number 1 overall pick. And who are they going to take? They were one of the worst teams last year. We actually traded them, Stranahan, and they end up going with Lamar Ware. So here's John Jones. We are on the board, and we still have him available to us. Good. Look at the rookie report here. Even this, every little aspect of this game is better than the current Madden. The only thing this game doesn't do better is probably the graphics, and that's pretty sad. So I see this guy here, this wide receiver. I know technically we probably don't need him. We could probably get away with just the wide receiver core that we have now, but dude, he looks too good. He ran a 4.31. Good interview, average. Run power ain't that important, but amazing hands. Great kick return. I've got to go Vernon Lewis here. I probably shouldn't do it. I probably should go for a running back, but we're gonna snag him up. Another guy I was looking at is Lennox Millen. Now, I know we have Kurt Warner and Eli Manning, so this isn't something I'm going to pull the trigger on right now, but if he is available later, possibly I do that. So for right now, we're going to go right end, I do believe. Go ahead and just try and fill that trade that we made and beef up our defensive line. I feel like that could have been a little bit better last year, even though the Joe Johnson move he did a phenomenal job. And so later in the draft, now we're going to finally, address running back with David Quinn. Hopefully he turns out to be pretty good. I don't see him starting over Tiki Barber, but maybe he can work himself in there a little bit later. We also address outside linebacker here. And with our final pick, that's what we'll do. Marcus Simpson, 6'4", 244, 22 years old, from Texas A&M. This is just basically Mr. Irrelevant. We'll see what he turns out to be. So moving over, then you actually had to sign them, which they took this out for some reason. Kind of sucks, but you used to have to sign them. And look at this. Now they knew how to do it to hide the overalls. Why did they go away from this system? We are not going to know these overalls, guys, until we pay them money. And I think that's cool, because it's like, you better know you're gonna either waste your money or I don't know. This whole system's so much better. You gotta basically say, look. Oh, also look at this draft grades. What? So this is the grading of each team's what they feel like they did. So the Browns, Chiefs, Colts, Patriots, Redskins, A+ on their draft grade. It even shows their best pick. At least it's saying that's their best pick, and then it goes down the list. Why isn't this in Madden anymore? This is such a cool feature. So this is the only thing I get to go off of before I pay money out to these rookies that I don't know anything about as far as their overalls, besides what I scouted them. And as you guys can see, we have the worst grade. It's not that bad though, in my opinion. I mean, you got to think we are the last team picking, so we should be in last, but we are at a B plus, tied with the Falcons. It's saying Lewis is our first round draft pick, but our best pick was David Quinn, is what they're saying. So those might be two guys that we 100% pay money to, and maybe we think about letting the ones that we didn't feel so sure about, maybe you let them go. But then you don't know, because you could also be letting go of a lot of talent. You just never know. So what I ended up doing was just signing everybody, because we have the cap space and we need depth on the team. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, not the best draft, as you can see here. The Vernon Lewis pick was only a 70 overall, and then the David Quinn was a 69 overall with 80 speed. I don't know why they thought that was the best pick I had. That was the running back. We ended up also getting a 73 overall later in the draft. And the Vernon Lewis pick, I mean, it's not that bad. I thought he would have been higher than 70 though. So I can definitely see why we had the lowest draft grade in the league. But again, we were picking last, so it makes sense. We also have 250 overall picks, which are horrible. But I paid them money. Now, I have to. So I like this system. EA, go back to this system, please. So, okay, not the best draft. So we need to splash in free agency, and we do have some money. We have some money left over, okay? So that's exactly what we're going to do now. Again, you're going to see a trend in this video. Madden 2005 does free agency right. Not only do these players have their, personalities on what they want from each team, like do they want just money, or do they want to win, or do they want to be in a tax-free state, like all that stuff that they're talking about in the new Madden is in this Madden right now that I'm playing. On top of that, right now, I didn't realize this, so I start panicking here. We're going to get Dwight Smith, by the way. Huge pickup. Huge freaking pickup. We're only getting better, which is scary for the league. But I didn't know this, and I started panicking because we're on a timer. Everybody in the league right now is making their calls or throwing in their offers on players, and I didn't realize that I'm racing the clock, man. I'm racing these other teams. I see teams start to pop up in best offer, and then I'm like, wait, oh my God, we're live. Like, it's happening. There's no pausing this. Like, I gotta move. I gotta get my players. And that's how free agency should be. Like, it was so fun. So here, after all that chaos, it was chaos, by the way, that free agency period. It was so fun. Go back, EA, if you're watching this. Go back to that system. Anyways, we're going to go and take a look at our spot. So David Quinn is going to get that third spot. Just not as good as I was hoping he was going to be. Toomer, Anquan Bolden didn't actually move up in overall. A little disappointing. Toomer's still 91, though. Hillard is going to be our third guy. And I think for the fourth, we ended up going back. Because of that draft pick was not as good as I thought it was with Vernon. We ended up re-signing McKnight. We got him in the free agency part. So, honestly, our first round draft pick probably ain't even going to get any time played. We still have Jeremy Shockey. So, again, I will say one place I have failed is that draft. It's a lot more challenging back in the day, and I like that. We did make a Solomon Page pickup at left tackle, so we picked up a new left tackle. And he's going to be phenomenal. I have a good feeling about him. He's going to jump in that starting spot. And I'm also going to make a little move here. Osi Umanera. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I'm going to start him. Then Trotter and Greason. I picked up Trotter last year. We're going to continue to start Greason, though, because he really stepped up and deserves it. And then here's our corners looking fantastic. Then the new pickup, Dwight Smith, at 91 overall. It's only 26 years old. We have a little bit of draft pick capital here. If we want to trade Omar, we could. And then, of course, Sean Williams at 92 overall. Guys, Matt Bryant, and then our punter the same. We've only gotten better, in my opinion. We have basically everybody that we had last year that won us the Super Bowl, except for we have added a few little bits and pieces here and there. We have a better left tackle to help protect the quarterback even more this year. I think we are still a playoff team. We're not going to fall. We could another Super Bowl run. I'm calling it right now. There's the schedule. I'll see you guys in the next one.